How are you today? I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful, amazing, gorgeous day. It is absolutely cold where I live. Here in the United States, we're currently going through like a, I don't know, winter blast, something like that. And it is so cold. Like, it is currently, I think, -7, I think the last I saw. And there's absolutely no reason I should be living somewhere where it's -7 degrees. I haven't left my house in days. So the fact that it's even in the negatives right now boggles my mind. And the thing is that this happens every year, and I still continue to live here. Like, if it wasn't for my family, that's neither here nor there. But if you watched my last video, I posted my journey of art throughout 2023, and I had lots of very valuable lessons that year. And for this year, I let a lot of things go. And I spoke about this very briefly in that video, and I definitely knew that I wanted to have a more in-depth video of what exactly I meant by endings and letting things go and moving on. But I didn't know necessarily at the time how I wanted to go about it. So I just kind of meandered along, went about my life. And then one fateful morning, I was scrolling through Pinterest, listening to music before I went into work. And I was listening to this song that is by an amazing artist called Coda the Friend. This song is called Summer House. And one very specific lyric stuck out to me. And this specific lyric stuck out to me for a very important reason. This says, "Leave it behind, saying goodbye, moving along." And at the beginning of this year, I had decided to make lots of endings and cuts within my own life. And so that obviously very much spoke to me because of how relevant it was. And with the whole topic of me wanting to speak on that more in depth and not really knowing how to go about it, I was like, oh, that's super, super interesting. And at that same time, when that lyric stuck out to me, this also stuck out to me on Pinterest, the specific artist that I will go ahead and put in this video. Their art was with Prismacolor, and I just found it to be so soft and peaceful and just really the vibe of kind of what I was trying to interpret in my own brain. My brain's really weird when I get in that creative mode. So like the best way I can describe it is I have a certain idea of something that I want to express, but I don't always have like the exact full picture of what I want until I see something that kind of starts to piece together the picture. It's kind of like I like finding clues, I guess, to a big picture in my brain, and that picture is usually what I end up drawing and coloring and creating. So that's kind of like how it works in my head. Many people have different methods. That's just what works best for me. Is I have an overall like topic of what I want, and sort of outliney sketch idea, and then more things will kind of just like pop up in my way that align with what it is that I'm trying to express, if that makes any sense. But at this moment, it was like literally like bam bam, like this song, that specific lyric, and then this artist. And so I started thinking, well, like I really like these two specific pictures. How can I do something with these two specific pictures, right? So with that being said, I started to get my little gears wandering, and obviously I knew that I wanted something that was very peaceful and just a clear indication of what it means to peacefully let go of who you once were, who you once identified with, in order to move on to a different life path. And that's kind of what I'm going into this video, is what people kind of never really say or talk about when you decide that you no longer want to live a life that you're currently living. Like, let's say your reality isn't ideal. You're not happy with it. You don't like what's in front of you right? I've been there. We've all been there. You don't like your current surroundings, right? Until you make a conscious decision that you no longer want to live that way, you're going to continue not recognizing the patterns that are keeping you in that state, if that makes any sense. So once I had decided to make the conscious decision that I no longer wanted to feel, for my case, lonely, even though I was surrounded by people, I know I didn't want to feel that way anymore. I didn't want to feel alone, even though people were still around. So I had to look at my life and what patterns were keeping me still feeling that way. And so when I saw that, I was able to recognize the patterns within myself. Like I said, that was keeping me in that same loop of feeling lonely. So then, obviously you have to make the decision to no longer continue actively doing those things that keeps you in that constant loop of feeling that way. And once you're able to recognize those patterns that are no longer serving you and not letting you grow into the person that you want to be, then you can peacefully, with love and gratitude, look at that person that you once were and peacefully let that go. That way you can further better yourself and better who you are and live the life and live the dream that you want to live. And I really wanted to find a way to portray that within my artwork, like I always do. I always like to find a way. If you hear things in the background, I'm really sorry. My cat plays fetch. I will go ahead and just 1 second. He wants me to play fetch with him so badly. Please ignore the snow on the floor. I haven't mopped yet, but it's coming. Good boy, you're so smart. I'm so sorry for that brief intermission. He has to play fetch all the time. I'm so sorry. But basically what I was saying, within my artwork, I wanted to be able to portray how I was feeling, letting go that piece of myself that was still continuously acting on those toxic cycles and toxicity patterns that weren't necessarily benefiting me in a good way. So I wanted to find a way that I could show letting go that piece of me, because that was a deep wound. If you've watched the video, it was a deep childhood wound of mine that I had to go in and within and heal in order to no longer actively have those toxic patterns that allowed me to stay within those unfavorable friendships, relationships, whatever you call them. Just not equal give and take relationships. So I guess I should just go ahead and show you the picture I decided to create. I first started out with sketching and making sure that I could do the thing with the Prismacolor that I wanted to do, because when I do Prismacolor, I've never done it like this way. The lines are usually quite harsh because I like to make it look like the Prismacolor is glowing. Well, that's just what I personally like to do. So this was kind of out of my comfort zone. So I definitely wanted to practice and see if I could even do what it is that I wanted to do. And thankfully I was. I started out with this one, but still the lines were too harsh. It wasn't exactly what I was looking for. I wanted something that was very fluffy and soft to look at. This one was just a little bit too harsh. It looked a little bit too much like what I currently do with Prismacolor, and that's not what I was looking for. So definitely had to readjust. So this one I kind of moved on to different cloud patterns, and these ones were kind of, they're upside down, but these ones were kind of cute. Like this one ended up being the best one that I liked and the best pattern that I found to do what it is that I wanted to do. And then I also wanted there to be some water, a moon, and an arm, as you can see. So every single element that I wanted to put into this picture, I drew on a different paper first to make sure that it looked like what I wanted to do. So that's what I started out doing. So then I moved on to this bad boy. Oh, she's so beautiful. I love her. And as you can see, it's just peacefully letting go, moving past all of the clouds onto smoother waters. And that's really what I wanted to do. It's super beautiful, super simple. I really loved the way it turned out, and the process of doing it was so fun to figure out, because I had such a great time trying to go in and make sure that every detail was exactly what I wanted it to look like. And the moon, I think, turned out so cool. I really like the way the moon turned out, I won't lie. This is just so new for me. I had not done Prismacolor like this, and it was really fun for me to try and figure out. If you ever wondering what type of paper I used this acrylic paper. It turned out to be really good. I actually got this from Christmas, and I really like it for Prismacolor, so I'd highly recommend this. I was actually hoping to find a good one for Prismacolor, because the ones that I have been using are okay, but I like this one the best, definitely. And I genuinely just am so happy with how it turned out. It's just, the process was really cool too. I'm definitely gonna go ahead and put it up. I started with the background, so I'll go ahead and walk you through. I started out with the background right back here, and because I didn't want it to be dark, I wanted it to be light and then the water to be dark. I wanted everything around it to be kind of like, you know, because that's kind of what you're sailing on. It's like what you go through, you know what I mean? So that's got to be the darkest, right? Noggin. But so I had to make this one not dark. And then I started out with, for the clouds, just a plain sky blue. And then after that, I moved on to the water, because the water was, to me, one of the most important elements in it. So I went in with the water, and then once I got the water to the desired color that I wanted, then I went in with the clouds. I started with the blue, right? And then I went in with this purple that I used back here. Went in with the purple, and then used the purple and blended that with the pink and put very teeny tiny yellow details, right? Okay, cool. And then after that, I moved on to the moon. For the moon, I did a base coat of purple, because, you know, purple and yellow, they're contradictory, so they're going to make this nice goldenish color for the shadow. So I did that. For her dress, I actually went in with a yellow undertone for the skin. Now the skin, I did a mixture of the purple, a peach, and the same yellow that I used for the moon. And the undertone for the moon color, I used the same that I did for the pink. I mean, the purple here. Very confusing, and I'm really sorry, but this is just the best way that I could do it, because I don't really know how to film myself through the process. That I'm still trying to figure out, so please bear with me while I figure out how to do all that business. I'll get there shortly. But just where her skin color was is only where I put the yellow. Everywhere else was just going to be pure green, so it's kind of hard to tell with this. I'll definitely put in some up close pictures and videos, that way you can see better what it is that I'm talking about. But yeah, that's basically all that I did. It was really fun. It took me about 2 days, not like 2 whole days, because like I said, I do have a full-time job, so this is just like a hobby that I like to do on the side. And I do this when I'm working, because there's times where I don't have calls, so I do have some free time, and I like to be productive during that free time, so why not work on art, right? So that's why it took me 2 days to finish this. If I did this full time, I would say it would take me a couple hours. So yeah, that's really all I have to say about this one. It was a really fun picture that I really enjoyed creating. I always have a fun time creating these masterpieces, in my opinion. I will always flaunt my artwork. I'm very proud of it, and you should be proud of your stuff too. Who cares what other people think? You worked on it. You should be proud of everything you create. But that's really all I have for you guys today. It's just this picture. Really hope you enjoyed it. Hope my video brought you some clarity or maybe just some comfort if you're also going through this time as well. I really appreciate you being here and watching my videos. Until next time, my lovelies, goodbye.